Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chicago PD star tees up intimacy between Voight and Chapman in Season 12. Hank Voight, Jason Begg, has been single for as long as we've known him. He hasn't gone on a date since his wife died, and that was well before the events of Chicago PD. That is what makes his bond with Nina Chapman, Sarah Buse, so unique. These two are not romantically involved, but their emotional connection is so strong that Chapman admitted to having romantic feelings for Voight during her last appearance. It not only caught us off guard as viewers, it got the veteran police officer off guard as well. He's not used to it. Jason Begg spoke with TV Insider about this relationship, especially with Chapman's character returning from her out-of-town sojourn. The actor claimed both Chapman and Voight realize how strong their connection is, and therefore don't want to take anything for granted. We've shot one episode since she's been back, and we are working together very closely, but we have not brought up or even alluded to that other conversation, he explained. Begg does not want to tip his hand as to what happens on the show, obviously, but his evocation of a particular world in the interview has us intrigued. There is a closeness and a respect, and a word you could use that probably would be misinterpreted, the actor told the outlet. So with a grain of salt, intimacy, which Voight certainly doesn't share much with many others. The word Begg is alluding seems to be love, which is a massive revelation on the part of his character. Voight has had meaningful connections all throughout Chicago PD's runtime, but the word love has rarely entered his lexicon. We certainly haven't heard Begg use the word to describe the character. It is even more telling that he evokes it rather than state it out loud. Then again, Voight has not had the best luck when it comes to caring about people. The poor guy has lost of the people in his life who meant something to him, whether it be through death or departure. It definitely hurt him to see longtime peers like Jay Halstead, Jesse Lee Soffer, and Haley Upton, Tracy Spiridakos, leave the Windy City. Begg acknowledges this unfortunate pattern and how it informs Voight's reluctance to get close to people. The team members that he was able to do that with, that he had historically done it with, are all gone or dead, he lamented. So it's kind of interesting, I think, to see a little bit of Voight at home, so to speak. Yes, we too are concerned about Nina Chapman's safety. If she and Voight get closer, Chicago PD logic dictates that she be put in harm's way at some point, or perhaps even killed. We really don't want to see that happen. Voight has been on a quest to find some inner peace over the last year. So maybe Chapman will break the trend and allow him to fully open up to someone in a romantic capacity. It would certainly be nice to see. Voight can't be the solo guy chasing down bad guys forever after all. As Chicago PD heads into its 12th season, fans can expect a new and unexpected dynamic to unfold between Hank Voight, Jason Begg, and Chief Patty Chapman, Sarah Buse. The long-standing tension between the two has always simmered beneath the surface, but according to recent teases from the cast, that tension may soon evolve into something more complex, perhaps even intimate. A shifting relationship. Voight and Chapman have long shared a complicated history. As the head of intelligence, Voight has built his reputation on bending the rules to get justice, while Chapman, as a high-ranking official in the CPD, has often been at odds with his methods. Yet despite their ideological differences, they have also displayed a begrudging respect for one another. In past seasons, Chapman has alternated between trying to rein in Voight's rogue tactics and begrudgingly acknowledging his effectiveness. Now, as the power dynamics within the department shift, sources close to production hint that the pair's relationship will take on a new depth, one that may blur the lines between professional and personal. Jason Begg hints at intimacy. During a recent interview, Jason Begg teased that the upcoming season would explore Voight's vulnerabilities in a way fans haven't seen before. Voight has always been a lone wolf, but he's getting to a place where he needs to let people in, even if it's against his instincts, Begg shared. With Chapman, there's a history, there's tension, and sometimes tension turns into something else. While he stopped short of confirming a romantic connection, Begg's words left plenty of room for speculation. Could Voight and Chapman be heading toward an emotional, or even physical, entanglement? A partnership redefined. Chapman, played with steely resolve by Sarah Buse, has been a recurring presence in Chicago PD, often serving as both an antagonist and an ally to Voight. Her character represents the department's bureaucratic arm, frequently butting heads with Voight's hands-on, rule-breaking approach. However, Season 12 is poised to peel back more layers of Chapman's character. Insiders suggest that the season will delve into her personal struggles, revealing a more human side of the chief that might explain why she's always been so fixated on controlling Voight. The duo's interactions will reportedly take on a more emotionally charged quality, especially as they find themselves forced to rely on each other in ways they never have before. A shared crisis or major case may push them closer together, creating opportunities for unexpected moments of vulnerability. A divisive development? The potential for a deeper bond between Voight and Chapman is already stirring discussion among Chicago PD fans. Some are intrigued by the idea of Voight exploring an emotional connection with someone who understands the weight of command, while others worry that any sort of romantic involvement would be out of character for him. Voight's whole identity is built around loss and justice. One fan commented on social media, "I just don't see him suddenly opening up to someone, especially Chapman." Others, however, argue that Chapman might be the one person strong enough to challenge Voight in a way that no one else can. Sarah Buse has also added fuel to the fire, hinting that Chapman and Voight's relationship will be one of the season's most complex arcs. They have a lot of history, and we'll see that history come to the surface in ways that surprise both of them, she said in a recent interview. Whether that leads to conflict, partnership, or something else entirely, you'll have to watch and see. What this means for intelligence. If Voight and Chapman's dynamic shifts in a more intimate direction, it could have major implications for intelligence. Voight has always prided himself on keeping his emotions in check when it comes to his team, but if Chapman becomes more than just an occasional authority figure in his life, it could create new tensions within the unit. How would Haley Upton, Kevin Atwater, and the rest of intelligence react if their boss became personally entangled with a higher-up? Could it compromise Voight's decision-making, or would it force him to become more accountable in his actions? There's also the question of whether Chapman has her own agenda. While she has always been a formidable presence, her true motivations have remained somewhat ambiguous. If she and Voight do develop a deeper connection, fans will undoubtedly question whether Chapman is playing the long game, using her influence over Voight to shape intelligence to her own vision. A new era for Voight. One thing is clear. Season 12 of Chicago PD is setting up a major evolution for Hank Voight. For years he has operated on the fringes of the law, answering only to his own moral code. But as the department changes and the pressures mount, he may find himself in unfamiliar territory, one where he's no longer in complete control. Whether the intimacy hinted at between Voight and Chapman is emotional, strategic, or something more, it promises to add a fresh layer of intrigue to the show's already gripping storytelling. Fans will have to tune in to see just how far Chicago PD is willing to push the boundaries of its toughest cop.